Hey everyone, I'm Cookie Brothers with FCF International. As a strategic team, we've been talking a lot about changing the culture of church leadership, and we even centered our Q1 event around it. I felt like so much of what was discussed needed to be talked about again, and so I decided to take a couple of minutes and talk to you today about some of what it takes to make a culture shift. Years ago, I was attending a church. I wasn't on staff there, and I witnessed the pastor speak so sharply to a team member. And when the team member apologized for his mistake, the pastor then demanded, "Why did you do it that way?" And the team member expressed his process. And the pastor said, "Well, I never told you to do it that way. Don't ever do that again." Well, it was just clear that both were frustrated, and there wasn't clear expectations in place from leadership, and there wasn't safety to make decisions for the team member himself. So that had me kind of thinking, we've all been in frustration, either with our leaders or with our team members. And if we really want to see change in this area, then here's some simple steps, just 3 simple steps we can take to begin to turn the ship of culture. The first thing is to create safety. When you assess your organization's culture, you need to recognize the elements that are present and decide if they need to remain, be eliminated, or be modified. But in order to do this, you need to know what is happening in the hall. Remember, culture is what's happening down the hall. Vision is what's on the wall. But the only way to do this is to find out and ask people. People are only going to be honest with their leader if they feel safe. Will you make an excuse for things, or will you take notes? Will you defend someone's poor behavior, or will you take notes and follow through setting a better example? Sometimes we simply tolerate the behavior of others because they've demonstrated that behavior as a habit. We become used to that habit. For example, someone comes late to music rehearsal. They habitually show up at 10 minutes late, but nothing is said to correct that behavior because, Billy just shows up late every week. Lateness, a lack of promptness, is now a part of that rehearsal culture. If that is to change, you can't be timid. You need to address the behavior and keep the healthy, corrected standard in front of people. And it's vital to remember that you, the senior leader, are responsible for the culture. Although individual members have their own set of attitudes and behaviors, it's up to you to set the course for what is acceptable and what is not. Every Christian leader wants their organization's culture to reflect Jesus. The next thing is time. I'm sure you're familiar with Chick-fil-A. What are they famous for saying? My pleasure. When you think of a happy and polite fast food chain, Chick-fil-A is number 1, but it wasn't always that way. It took the CEO 10 years to get everyone in the company saying that. He had to be consistent with casting vision, politely casting vision, before everyone was saying the phrase all the time. Now that saying has influenced so many others to have catchphrases in their businesses. And then finally, we need people. It's undeniable that your organization's culture impacts those within it, and also those who are in the process of becoming a part of it. We're wise to recognize that a characteristic of culture is that it is internally reinforced. For example, if you were to travel to a foreign country and do something that is regularly practiced in your homeland, but it's taboo in the country that you're visiting, other members of that culture will let you know, directly or indirectly, that what you did is not considered acceptable. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. That's Benjamin Franklin. This is also true for churches and ministries. Those among the grassroots will give clues and cues as to what is accepted, tolerated, what is not. And when you, as the leader, attempt to change the culture, it is vitally important to have others help you. Your team members will help to reinforce the new or different modified attitude or behavior that you want to change or introduce. These team members will be some of the main influencers to reinforce the cultural change. It's healthy to get input from the members of your organization. The things they share will help you understand what they see and perceive, which in turn will assist you in knowing what needs to be changed and how that ought to be done. Now, when you're soliciting input from members, it's best if it's done by someone other than the senior leader. Most of the time, when the senior leader asks for honest input, members will only share what they think the senior leader wants to hear. So it's most fruitful then for another leader to solicit this type of information. I really want to see us change the culture of leadership in our ministries. Let's do it for the future of our ministries, for the people we serve, but especially let's do that for the glory of God. Bless you guys.